Good afternoon, everyone, and I understand that there is going to be some partying in this city later tonight after this conference. Let me give you a perspective of a politician, head of a government in a country at the center of Europe, also at the core of Europe, of course, with so much decision-making happening in Brussels. It's not a secret if I tell you that we are living extremely hard times. Extremely hard times for our population, for our families, for our SMEs, for our industry. But I would also say extremely hard times for society, for cohesion, for democracy, and for free societies. We are under tremendous pressure. We've been under tremendous pressure. COVID was not difficult, not easy. I would say that this is even more difficult. And people who know me know that I am an optimist. I am someone who believes in innovation. I'm someone who believes that when we are encountering challenges, that we can find solutions. But I think we really have to open our eyes for the difficulties that our population are facing today. But that is no reason for defeatism. I still believe that despite the challenge, we can do this. We got this. But we will have to find a way in working together and in keeping the long-term perspective, but also dealing with the short term. First of all, I would like to thank our Norwegian friends. Norway has been extremely instrumental in getting us through this crisis. We've been asking a lot from you, and you've helped the European continent a lot. We in Belgium import approximately 40% of our gas imports comes from Norway, and we've had a long-standing, very intense relationship. If today we are not dependent on Russian gas, it's because we have Norwegian friends. And in the world of today, it is important to have good friends. If you don't have good friends, you're afraid. Or you join a club of good friends, such as our Finnish and Swedish friends have done over the last months. And we welcome them, of course, with all our hearts. We'd like to make 3 points. First of all, is on electricity and gas prices. You've been talking a lot about oil, but really what is on top of mind today in our society is gas prices. And really, I've tried to look at this in a number of different ways, at those prices that are going higher and higher every time. We're not in winter, we're in summer for the moment. The gas storage reserves in Europe have never been higher. We're way beyond the 80% target that we have put forward. The agreements that we have between each other in helping, if we would have a problem, we've never had more agreements than today. Then why do we have the prices that we have today? There is no shortage of gas in Europe today. Still, the prices are sky high. The only reason that is the case is because there's uncertainty. And uncertainty has a high cost. That obviously is the case. But that cost of uncertainty is becoming completely unbearable for European societies. And I'm a believer in free markets. You know, I'm an economist, I'm a liberal. I believe free markets are the most efficient allocation of resources, except when they're not. And today, I'm very sorry, the free market is not functioning. It is not functioning. Now, if it's not functioning, for me, it's not a religion. I mean, I believe the free market works for the population. When it's not working for the population, I believe that we should intervene. And from my country, we've been advocating price caps in the gas market and in the wholesale price market for a long time. And I understand all the concerns that could be linked to that. But all the concerns that have been put forward, we already have them today. So the question is, if we already have the concerns being realized, I really think that we should intervene because that cost of uncertainty is really becoming impossible. Now, of course, this is a short-term solution. It's a temporary intervention. I understand that. The question is, how do you solve it to the core? And you solve it to the core because the uncertainty induced by Russia is an uncertainty that has a gigantic cost. We thought it would take us years to disconnect from Russian energy and from Russian gas. If I look at where we are today, it's actually not going to take years. If we accelerate the efforts that we see happening today, it might actually be a matter of months. Now, if it is a matter of months, of course, it's a totally different perspective. I want to be very clear on this. As European countries and with the partnerships we have, we should do everything to take that uncertainty away. Taking that uncertainty away is at a moment saying, look, we do not need Russian gas anymore, and it should be a matter of months. It is possible to do it. In the meantime, and I've pointed to the fact that there is a market failure today in the energy market, of course, we see certain effects from a market failure, and that's, for example, windfall profits. I hope you understand that windfall profits today are extremely difficult to explain to our European public. And I hope you understand that at a moment of this, it is totally logical that European countries or the European Commission would ask a contribution based on those windfall profits, not to make governments rich, just to help our industry, help our population get through an extremely difficult period. Third element, and that's my final point, is what is the vision? You know, last week, when the Belgian press asked me about my perspective, I've been bluntly honest. And I said, look, I think the next 5 years, and maybe the next 10 years, are going to be extremely difficult. These are going to be difficult times. But we got this. If we stick together, we can get through this. Now, more important than the fact that we are heading for 5 to 10 years difficult times, if we do it well, it's 5 years. If we don't do it well, it's maybe 10 years. Is the opportunity we have. And we are here at a moment where we have an opportunity to jump forward 20 years in energy transition. Use this opportunity to really take an advantage of 20 years in new technology that is reducing CO2 emission, in making a jump forward in offshore wind, in making a jump forward in so much innovation that is actually there, but where the economics have become extremely attractive to make it happen today. And that's the point I want to make. You know, 71 years ago, after the Second World War, on the European continent, we found a way to stabilize Europe. We created, and the first creation was a European community of coal and steel. And after that came Euratom, and after that came the European community. We stabilized the European continent by making agreement on heavy industry, on energy, and on the economy. And it brought us 70 years of unparalleled prosperity, stability, and peace in the European continent. Today, energy policy is at the same moment. If we want to guarantee prosperity, if we want to guarantee peace and security for our population on the European continent, this is exactly the same moment. If we use this moment as a European continent with all our partners to come to a common policy, to come to a space where investment can take place, where electrification can take place, where investing in hydrogen can take place, where decarbonized fossil fuel can take place, we are at an incredible opportunity moment. But we will only do it if we use this moment to build policy. And I'm sure I can count on you as well, government, but also the private sector, together to shoulder this responsibility in stabilizing the European continent and bringing peace again on the European continent. Thank you.